Hello XDA, I'm the teenager that's not Miles, and this is my first Swappa experience. In case you didn't know, Swappa is the official marketplace of used phones and other consumer electronics for XDA. So the day after Christmas, my computer broke. I snapped my CPU in half, metaphorically speaking. And it was a shame, but I had to find a computer fast. And I also had to find a computer that I could afford fast. So I hopped on Swappa out of the recommendation of Miles Somerville and found a MacBook for a really good price. Now, this was the first time I'd ever bought anything with Swappa, and while I had used Miles' account to sell a couple things, I figured that this would be a good opportunity to make a video explaining my experience as I bought something and then as I sold it. So let's get into the buying. So this is what I bought, a 2015 13-inch MacBook Pro. It has a Core i5, fairly good specs, and it's in a very, very good condition, and I got it for a steal at $750. Rather than eBay, where eBay listings are entirely random and scattered, Swappa is very organized. They have specific pages for every product that they sell, and they sell a variety of products, just about every flagship and good phone on the market. It's amazing, and while it might seem limiting at first, I don't think I have ever gone on Swappa looking for a product to buy and been disappointed. It has just about everything you could want. So I went through and found the MacBook model that I would have liked to buy, and unlike eBay, where I might have typed that model name into the search bar, this gave me the page for the MacBook. I scrolled through and I was able to find the cheapest priced MacBook like that. That was absolutely amazing for me. I didn't have to scour and look for a MacBook in a different condition. I found one that was in a poor condition, but nothing too crazy, and at the best price by almost $100. So I walked through the Swappa buying process, which was very easy. I simply had to link my PayPal and it took care of the rest, and then I had my laptop bought. So I guess now we should probably talk about what it was like to sell. I have a couple fun facts for you guys. The ZTE Axon M is a phone that I said I could not use, and MacBooks are expensive. When you put the two together, I realized that I had to sell the phone that I was making some really exciting coverage on. So I went on a Swappa and looked if there was a ZTE Axon M selling page. It's an obscure phone, and I didn't expect there to be one. There were no phones listed on the page though, so I had the privilege of being the first person to sell a ZTE Axon M on Swappa. I know it's kind of a big deal, you can thank me later. Setting up the actual listing is very easy. They have you go through the model number, SMEI number, and plenty of other things to make sure that the phone is real, and then to check the quality of the phone, they do something very interesting. Rather than have you take photos before you make the listing, they make the listing, approve of it, and then give you a number. With this number, you write it on a piece of paper, and you keep that number in all of the photos of the phone. That way, they can verify that this is a legitimate person selling this. This is obviously something that not every single website can do, but it's amazing that Swappa does it. It's obvious that they take a lot of time with their staff to make sure that they're aware of what a good and a bad phone looks like, and I'm sure that they're fairly efficient with it. With me, it took a very long time to get mine approved though, and I was very nervous about this. However, I spoke to Miles Somerville, and he said that they never take more than 3 to 4 hours. So I reached out to Swappa simply saying, hey, what's the deal? And I just sent them a quick tweet. Within 45 minutes, Swappa got back to me informing me that there was a small problem with my account and my PayPal address. It was a mistake that I made and something that I can't hold Swappa accountable for. But the reason I'm mentioning this because Swappa not only told me what the problem was, but rather than wait for me to reach out to them, within a couple of hours, I had somebody from the Swappa staff reaching out to me. And I spoke to a real human being about the issue on my account. I quickly got it resolved, and within just a couple hours of sending out my tweet, I had my post officially live and ready to be sold. Now this is the part of the video that is going to be very different for a lot of people. Obviously the phone I was selling is not in particularly high demand, and I was selling it at an extremely high price of $500. This phone typically retails for about $600, so I was curious what it would be like. After a week of not really getting many views on the page, I decided that I would sell it for $400. Now the really interesting thing about Swappa is that when you punch in the price that you'd like to make off of the phone, they will immediately tell you the price that is listed on it. This means that rather than a website like eBay where you may say, I'd like the listing to say $420, and you end up only getting $400, I said I wanted $400, and then Swappa told the seller they were paying $420. So overall, I can confidently say one thing about Swappa, which I absolutely love. It's human. That's gonna do it for this video for me. If you have any more questions on Swappa, please let me know below, and let me know if you have any Swappa horror stories. As far as I can tell, this website is just about perfect. Until then, I'll see you soon. I'm Eric, this is XDA, and be sure to subscribe.